Can I use my health insurance for tests? So this was a question that was fielded, and we did get some questions that were not related to palpitations, so I kind of took some of those out. Okay, Andy, I mean, listen, so someone comes to you and they're like, hey, listen, I don't want to invest in one of the expensive panels at Natural Heart Doctor. They say, okay, I don't want to spend $2,000 on a chat panel. I don't want to spend money looking for the toxins, maybe with our triple toxin panel. They just want to do everything with insurance. So give me a few tests that you'd recommend that are likely insurance-based as they're kind of going after maybe some root cause of the palpitations.
I think, it just depends if the insurance is going to cover it. The doc that's writing for the test has to justify it somehow and, may have an argument with the insurance company. But general tests I like, my favorite test would be, resting insulin level to see, hyperinsulinemia is such a big cause of oxidative stress and inflammation, hypertension, and oxidized LDL. So that's one test I would think about doing. Well, magnesium,
and how, because, and I think, you run the risk. I mean, you and I are not insurance salespeople, and we're not, don't yell at us if these things don't get reimbursed or something like that. But I mean, usually an intracellular magnesium would be covered, maybe an intracellular potassium. Okay, so tests that we can use with insurance. We're going to look at HSCRP for cardiac inflammation. We can do an oxidized LDL to look for oxidative stress. Maybe look at homocysteine. If it's elevated, you have a B vitamin deficiency. And I think, again, intracellular potassium, intracellular magnesium, or maybe just like a top 5 kind of list. Oftentimes you can get the omega-3 index covered as well. Again, don't quote me on any of this stuff. Everybody's insurance is different. And the omega-3 index, we don't sell that as an individual test. It's inside of our Vibrant Micronutrient panel where we're looking at all of the essential fatty acids. So we're looking at omega-6s, omega-3s, different types of omega-3s, different types of omega-6s. And that's just in the fatty acid profile. Plus we're looking at all the vitamins, minerals. I think it really is a spectacular test. And I know I've been at this a lot longer than you have in the holistic space. And I know that you've just marveled at all of the things that we can actually test for that are just making a tremendous difference that we didn't look at before.
Jack, my favorite test you have is the lipoprotein-associated phospholipase A2. That's just a fascinating test, that it's not just a measure of inflammation like C-reactive protein or SED rate or even myeloperoxidase. This tells you the macrophages that are on your vulnerable plaque now, how much lipoprotein are they consuming, and what's your vulnerable plaque burden. In a way, it's telling us that. I don't know if insurance would ever pay for that test, but that's my favorite inflammation test that we do.
That is a great test, and we've got a good blog on that. Maybe, Ryan, you can put that blog up there for the phospholipase A2 test. That's inside of our advanced cardiac panel from Vibrant America. And it is, people obviously, they talk about coronary calcium scans and CT angiograms. My main concern about a coronary calcium scan, of course, is that it only identifies the calcium. So it only identifies a hard plaque, not a soft plaque, and it is radiation-based. You could get something that's even more radiation-based, which is the CT angiogram that can show you hard plaque and soft plaque. And that is certainly a factor. But the phospholipase A2 and these other markers of inflammation and oxidative stress, they tell you what's going on at the moment. Your coronary artery calcium may be from things that you did 30 years ago or things when you were going on when you were in your mother's womb when she was exposed to secondhand smoke. So as we look at these advanced markers, we can really determine, is your body on fire right now? And then we come up with a plan to do something about it. And then we check the markers a little bit down the road. And if the markers are trending downward into the normal range, you are on the way to longevity. That's how you know. And that's so exciting for us to be able to monitor that.